It's 9 o'clock on the evening of June 9th, 2026, and the sky over the Strait of Hormuz has just swallowed an American Apache helicopter shot out of the dark by Iranian fire. Within the hour, Donald Trump's on Truth Social, telling the world that the United States, of necessity, must respond. And in that single sentence, the fragile ceasefire Washington had barely glued together the night before begins to crack, because everyone watching understands what comes next. The air over Israel will once again fill with the scream of ballistic missiles and the low, relentless hum of hundreds of drones. The War of 2026, which ignited at the end of February and has already cost thousands of lives in Iran and Lebanon, dozens in Israel and the Gulf states, and driven millions from their homes, has taught this entire region to live by the rhythm of the air raid siren. But this war's also produced something no war before it ever has. Something that only a few years ago belonged entirely to the pages of science fiction. In this war, for the first time in human history, a beam of pure light has begun knocking missiles out of the sky. And to understand why fewer and fewer rockets are reaching Israeli cities, you have to look into the beating heart of that quiet revolution. Picture the threat first. A salvo, dozens of rockets, a swarm of attack drones, all of it racing toward the center of a crowded city. In the conventional logic of air defense, interceptors leap up to meet them. Screaming missiles chasing screaming missiles, and the math is brutal. Each interceptor costs tens of thousands of dollars. The magazine is finite, and a single missed kill can mean a flattened apartment block and a column of names added to the dead. The defender is always one bad night away from being overwhelmed. Now picture a different kind of guardian entirely. Silent, instant. From the battery of laser emitters, an invisible blade of concentrated energy lashes out at the incoming threat, and where it touches the warhead simply ceases to be. Heated past the point of failure in 2 to 5 seconds, detonated in midair, or gutted along its critical components, scattered into a shower of brilliant sparks before it ever reaches the people below. This is no longer a concept paper or a desert test range. This is Iron Beam, officially named Iton, or Iton's Light, in memory of a fallen Israeli captain. And as of early 2026, it's the first fully operational high-energy laser weapon system in the world. The principle behind it's called directed energy, the focusing of an immense amount of electromagnetic power onto a single precise point in space. A traditional interceptor has to physically fly to its target, burning seconds and fuel to close the distance. A laser doesn't travel in any meaningful sense. It engages at the speed of light, 300,000 kilometers a second, striking its mark essentially the instant the trigger is pulled. In a domain where a half-second delay is the difference between a clean kill and a funeral, that's everything. But speed is only half the story. The other half is precision. By concentrating its beam on one specific spot, a rocket's motor, the seam of a warhead, the camera of a drone, the system can disable or destroy a threat with surgical exactness, vaporizing the danger while sparing everything around it. And then there's the number that's quietly rewritten the entire economics of war. Roughly $2 per shot. Not 2,000, 2. That's the cost of the electricity and the cooling. And that's all. Because as long as the generators turn, the laser never runs out of ammunition. Compare that to an Iron Dome interceptor at tens of thousands of dollars apiece, and you begin to see why Israeli defense planners speak of Iron Beam as a paradigm shift rather than just a new gadget. Iron Beam was built to complement, not replace, the layered shield Israel already trusts. Iron Dome against short-range rockets, David Sling for the medium tier, the Arrow batteries reaching all the way into space against ballistic missiles. The 100-kilowatt Iron Beam slots in at the bottom of that stack, handling the rockets, the mortars, and above all, the drones out to a range of roughly 7 to 10 kilometers, leaving the expensive kinetic interceptors free for the larger threats that truly demand them. The defining advantage is not just cost, it's that a laser engages a threat far earlier in its flight, often while it's still climbing. Which means that for most incoming projectiles, there may be no siren and no scramble to the bomb shelter at all. The system was formally delivered to the Israel Defense Forces at the very end of December 2025, declared operational, and then on the 2nd and 3rd of March 2026, it crossed a line no weapon had crossed before. As Hezbollah threw itself into the fighting less than 2 days after the opening of operations, Iron Beam reportedly fired in anger for the first time, burning Iranian-backed drones and rockets out of the northern sky in the first confirmed combat use of a high-energy laser in the history of warfare. The footage that leaked online showed exactly what the engineers had promised, targets simply winking out of existence. And here the story has to be honest, because the technology is real, but it's not magic. In the same northern skies where Iron Beam stood guard, dozens of Hezbollah drones still slipped across the border during the worst of the fighting, and Israeli officials, citing the fog of war, declined to say in which sectors the system was deployed or whether it was fully online for every category of threat. A laser is a creature of physics, and physics imposes limits. Its beam must punch through the atmosphere, and rain, dust, fog, and smoke scatter and weaken it. It must dwell on a single fast-moving target for those 2 to 5 critical seconds, which means it engages threats more or less one at a time, and a saturating swarm can still, in principle, present more targets than a single battery can burn through. To fight the atmosphere itself, Iron Beam carries a massive 450mm aperture and deformable mirrors that reshape themselves thousands of times every second, pre-distorting the beam to cancel out the shimmer of the air in real time, an extraordinary feat of adaptive optics, but a reminder that every kilometer of distance and every cloud in the way is a tax on the laser's lethality. This is why the laser doesn't stand alone. It's one layer in a deliberately woven net, and Israel's now extending that net in every direction. The family's already growing. Light Beam, a smaller 10-kilowatt cousin mounted on a Humvee, works as a drone dazzler, frying the optics and cameras of incoming UAVs rather than burning them whole. Iron Beam M, a 50-kilowatt mobile variant, is being fielded on trucks and helicopters through 2026, putting directed energy on the move rather than tying it to a fixed site. Iron Beam units have even been mounted on the Saar-class naval corvettes, hinting at a future where warships are wrapped in a bubble of energy defense, impervious to the swarming attack boats and sea-skimming missiles that have always been the surface fleet's nightmare. And the ambition climbs higher still. Elbit Systems has been testing an airborne laser, first flown on a humble Cessna Grand Caravan in 2025, with the stated goal of shrinking it down lethal enough to ride on a Beechcraft King Air, then a Gulfstream, and ultimately on a fighter, an F-15 or an F-35, operating above the weather where the beam can reach farther because there's simply less atmosphere in the way. Picture that for a moment, a fighter jet that doesn't fire a missile at an enemy aircraft or an incoming threat, but simply points and burns, killing at the speed of light from beyond the range of anything that could shoot back. That alone would represent a sea change in aerial combat, but the most vertigo-inducing glimpse of where this is headed comes from the realm of strategic defense, from the oldest fear Israel carries, the long-range ballistic missile arcing in from a distant adversary. The Arrow system, Israel's premier exo-atmospheric interceptor, already kills ballistic missiles in space, a marvel of engineering reaching across vast distances at incredible speed. The longer-term vision is an airborne coherent beam laser powerful enough to strike a ballistic missile in its boost phase, those first vulnerable seconds after launch, before it can release its warheads or decoys, engaging it at the very edge of space. Such a weapon, still perhaps a decade out, would hand Israel a measure of strategic invulnerability against even the most advanced missile threats, and it's exactly the kind of capability the planners are sketching into the 2026 to 2030 roadmap, with 200 and 300 kilowatt lasers and AI-enhanced targeting already moving through research and development. None of this comes free, and the engineers will be the first to admit it. High-energy lasers are ravenous for power, demanding advanced generation and storage just to stay fed. Beam control and atmospheric compensation remain brutal technical hurdles, and the strategic questions are still wide open. What does deterrence even mean in a world of speed-of-light defense? What new vulnerabilities emerge as these systems proliferate, and how does an adversary respond when the cheap mass attack it always relied on suddenly costs the defender only $2 a shot to defeat? These are the questions Israeli planners are wrestling with right now, even as the rest of the world, the United States, Britain, Russia, China, Germany, Japan, pours money into laser programs of its own and watches Israel, the only nation to have actually carried one into combat, with a mixture of envy and urgency. Because here's the simple truth that this war is driven home. On the night of June 9th, with an American helicopter down in the Strait of Hormuz and a ceasefire dissolving in real time, the old arithmetic of air defense, the finite magazine, the tens of thousands of dollars per shot, the race to the bomb shelter, was looking more fragile than ever. And in that same moment, in batteries deployed quietly across Israel and even shipped to allies like the United Arab Emirates to help fend off Iranian missiles and drones, a different kind of guardian was standing watch. Silent, nearly inexhaustible, costing pocket change per kill, striking at the speed of light. The laser age did not arrive with a ceremony, it arrived in the fog of war that nobody wanted, on a night when the missiles were supposed to fly again, and it announced itself the only way a weapon like this ever could, by reaching up into the dark and quietly making the threat disappear. That's why fewer missiles are reaching Israel now. Not because the rockets stopped coming, but because, for the first time, light itself learned to shoot back. Thanks for watching. If this gave you a new way of seeing the war that's reshaping the Middle East, consider liking and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.